Hi, can you tell us your name and where you're from?
I am Dr. Patricia Blahoviak. I live in East Cleveland, Ohio, which is not too far from here. And I'm a retired family physician. I've known Nina Turner since she was my state senator. I think that's about 15 years ago, but I'm really not sure the exact time. But at any rate, I have always liked Nina. Nina supports the causes that are important for me. I was a delegate to the last Democratic convention for Bernie, and she, of course, supports the same policies that Bernie supports, which, and obviously she's not a rubber stamp. So I'm sure there must be some differences, but I can't think of any. But she supports the $15 minimum wage as a floor, because it is so much better than having a $7.35 minimum wage, which nobody can live on. I mean, $15 isn't great, but it would be a huge improvement over what we have now. Nina supports the Green New Deal, which would provide jobs and help clean up the environment. She supports Medicare For All, which would stop the essentially murders of 68,000 people every year because they can't afford medical care. And something that a lot of people aren't aware of is that 650,000 people, and this was before the pandemic, 650,000 people suffer bankruptcy because of medical debt. And the number of people who can't afford dental care and glasses and hearing aids.
I want to ask you a very specific question about that, because I think you're in a very unique position. You're a retired medical practitioner. If anybody has seen the downside of our current medical system in terms of payment, it's people on the ground like you that are. Can you give us an example? Without violating any confidentiality or anything, but can you give us an example from your experience of how the current healthcare system has failed, an individual or a family?
Oh, there's so many. It's hard to think of it. I mean, they're the people who can't afford their pills, and they're cutting their pills in half if they get them even, or they're skipping doses and literally dying because they don't have the medication that they need is really incredible. I mean, the Medicare For All would help provide a cap on the expenses of the medications and at least allow us to negotiate the costs. We spend so much more in the United States on medications than people in any other country that I'm aware of. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. People cannot get the medication that they need, and Medicare For All would help that. I mean, the other thing is people die in their houses because they don't want to put their families into debt by calling emergency transport. Just absolutely ridiculous.
Tell me what you think the major difference between Shontel Brown and Nina Turner is on health care.
Shontel Brown supports paying insurance companies through the Affordable Care Act. This is her idea of what is the best way of taking care of the current medical problems. And that would still leave the 68,000 plus people dying because they can't afford medical care, and the huge number of people going into bankruptcy because they can't afford medical care, and they're going into debt. Nina Turner supports Medicare For All, which guarantees everybody that they can go and get their medical care. One thing people don't know is that medical care would be free. There wouldn't even be a tax for people earning under $35,000 a year. And it's a huge thing to go from I can't afford anything to I don't have to pay anything.
Doctor, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what I'm inferring from what you're saying, that if Medicare for All were what passed, which Nina Turner supports and Chantel Brown doesn't, that lives would be saved in Cleveland. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, huge numbers of lives would be saved in Cleveland and throughout the nation. Nina Turner is not only the best candidate for Cleveland and for Cuyahoga County and for Summit County, which are part of the 11th Congressional District, but also for the rest of the nation. Nina Turner would be a strong voice to add to the people who already support this in Congress. And that's why she has the support of so many people in Congress and throughout the nation, in addition to the people here. Bernie Sanders, Cori Bush, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, huge numbers of people. I'm blocking the name of the guy from the NAACP, I should remember his name, who came here and campaigned for Nina. Keith Ellison, who was responsible in large part for the conviction of that criminal former police officer in Minnesota,
Right.
is here today at this event supporting Nina Turner.
Tell me your name again.
I'm Dr. Patricia Blahoviak.
Blahoviak. Folks, Dr. Patricia Blahoviak, a retired physician in this district who believes that Medicare for All, supported by Nina Turner, would save lives in this district. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much for